Well everyone, as we can see here, this is my collection of Thomas Wooden Railway. But as we'll soon see, this collection is not as possibly exuberant as it looks, and there are many faults, as has just been pointed out by Leo Video in his 7 Railway review. First, I'll go through the characters. Now, I do not have a complete range of this set. In fact, I don't think I've got any Thomas set that I have all of them, except possibly Markland Thomas. So let's have a look. First here we've got a very old Gordon. Now all these engines, apart from very few, are from circa 1996 to 2000. So we've got one of the old-fashioned Gordons, which has always been one of my personal favourites because of his long body and the way he takes corners. And then we have here Lady, who was also one of my favourite engines due to my special attachment with the Magic Railroad. Once again, a very nice model. Now here we have Daisy, who I've also had a special attachment with, not because I didn't like her much in the series, but because for some reason my parents decided that I would like Daisy. Then we've got Mavis, who I always thought a bit strange due to the fact she has green stripes around her face, as opposed to the yellow ones just in the television series. We've got 2 handcars here, one of them newer than the other, both having the same function of the handcars going up and down, albeit slowly, when they moved along the track. The next set is Toby. Now you can hear James, and I'll get to him later. Once again, very nice. Also strange to point out that he has only 4 wheels, despite the fact in the television series and the railway series having 6. But if we have a look at Mavis, despite she also has that covered frame, she has 6. And even today, Toby still only has 4 wheels. Now my set of tanker wagons, as we can see, nice there. A little bit battle-worn, some of them. Then we move on to one of the older versions of Douglas, which, although they still, as I believe, if I'm correct, have the small knobby dome and funnel, they now have coal in their tender, which is 3D rather than just being flat. Onto the breakdown train, and these kind of breakdown trains we have not seen in the Railway series since about Series 7, or well, Series 8, until rocking was introduced anyway. Now we come over here to Thomas. Thomas is one of these old-fashioned happy faces, which I think truly, really reflects the Thomas. Of course, you know, I've seen nicer, but this is pretty good. As you see, Thomas is a bit worn. And then we've got Thomas and the Magic Railroad with removable cargo, a troublesome truck without a moulded face, just a printed face, and Rickety, troublesome truck with moulded cargo and moulded face, who, as you've probably already guessed, rickets as he goes along. Now we fly all the way over here to Percy, who has a nice interesting little happy face again, with the puffy cheeks that really represent him, and Clarabelle, because originally, these days of course, you buy Clarabelle and Annie in a set, but originally you only ever bought one at a time, so I never managed to collect any. Now, onto some of my more interesting additions to the collection. First over here we have Diesel 10, that's right. This was the refurbished version, not produced when the Magic Railroad, was produced when Calling All Engines came out. Still with his devious face, but with a rotating claw that was a bit of a different shade of green, and different body style. I got this Diesel 10 just in time, just before Day of the Diesels came out, which is good, because if you've seen the new Diesel 10 face, don't even go there. Overall, quite a nice model, despite the fact that his claw is plastic. And now we come over to the thing which we were hearing before, which is Lights and Sound James. Personally, I think it's a very, very nice set. As we can see here, there's this cargo crane, which did not come with it, but I forgot to mention it before. And here we have James, and so what he does, when we roll him along, due to a sound effect built into this wheel, and you can see the speakers here, he makes chuffing sounds, which are meant to increase as the engine rolls along. He's also got this button on here, which we can get these sounds from. And really, this was a free from David Jones on package for some strange reason, don't really know why. But this is actually very nice, and now these sets have actually been replaced with the new ones, which talk when you press their funnels. But I very much like the detailing. I like the addition of the lamp, I like this new face, despite the fact that if we compare it, here we go, to my old version of James, who simply push along, if we compare this face to the one in the original series, series 1 to 3 of the television series, we can see that this is actually a lot closer than the James face we're given today. However, this James face actually appeals more due to its happy complexion. But I do like the details on this. As I said, we have a look, this is a very nice tender, and on the back we've even got buffers and a dummy coupling. Very nice. And so now we move on to, well, this is a Brio engine, and 2 bits of Brio rolling stock, which I'll speak to later, the reason I have those. Now I've got, oh, what's this? Oh, I see. Battery-powered Percy. We all know how bad these things are. Percy, my Percy anyway. First, his screw broke, and then now he has a tendency to go very slowly. Not really a fan. However, I do not mind the face that they put on there. And what's this? Ugh, the third and most unloved James. The James that everyone loves to hate. The Battery James, with a very similar face to the Lights and Sounds James, apart from the direction of the eyes. And then, oh god. Dear god, what is it? Oh, it's just battery-powered Thomas. Yuck. Now we move on to the track system. Now, due to the fact that even back in the old days when I was a small child, the track system for for Thomas was very expensive. So my parents often bought Brio, as you can see here, with the nondescript lines, no Thomas markings, and occasionally the word Brio. That explains, of course, this rolling stock over here, because it came with a Brio starter set. But as we can see, this means that it doesn't have the special grip, that's in inverted commas by the way, that was designed to accommodate the Thomas battery engines, meaning I always had trouble with them on this track, but it seems they don't go any better otherwise. I very much like the wooden track system. As you can see, I bought it in the days where these larger curves were all the rage. Nowadays, to make sets cheaper and more compact, we get these smaller curves, like this. In fact, these may even be, nope, there you go, a perfect example of the Brio logo, which you can't really see on camera. But anyway, so I very much like the track system. And as you can see, I've got a few bits of Sodor track, this wobbly track, these sections here of the old special grip track with the big indents, and the newer design track, which is just, this crisscrosses here. But then if we move over, then what on earth is this? Well, this is tape, my friends, which I have found improves the gripping of the locomotives, the battery locomotives, very considerably when going up a hill. I've also placed it in here. Now, it sort of wrecks the effect, but this was to use around the Christmas tree. But anyway, I think now that's a pretty good view of my collection of Thomas trains, but also many of the problems that this series still faces, including, as many people have pointed out, its exuberant price. So as we can see, despite this railway being still claiming to be made of real wood, and, lucky for me, many of mine are, hence the lack of detailing and printing, as we can see, this Percy is entirely wood except for his face and wheels, unlike the new ones which has their boiler, as we can see in this James, here, made of plastic. And so it really raises the question, is where are these wooden sets heading? With higher prices and cheaper prices for the Trackmaster sets, which are a lot bigger and you can play by themselves, and now with the wooden railways trying to go into talking. How long is this railway going to survive? And if it keeps pushing up its prices, but giving us less and less real wood, are people still going to be buying it?